All right, good evening, and thanks for joining us for this month's episode of Veterans Voices. This month we'll be interviewing Sergeant Nic Von Tilius of the United States Army and his service dog Hershey. And the veterans profile will be the Goodnow brothers, Charles, Theodore, and Andrew, for whom the Goodnow Brothers School in Marlborough was recently named. Thanks for joining us. All right, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. And this month we'll be interviewing Sergeant Nic Von Tilius. So Nic, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you were born and raised?
All right, thanks. Well, one, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
I was born and raised in Denver, Colorado, and from there I moved around from state, and I ended up choosing Massachusetts as my home state from now on.
All right, perfect. Well, we like to hear that. And what got you into the military?
Well, one, ever since I can remember, I've always wanted to join the service. Didn't know which branch, but I always knew I wanted to serve. Wanted to just do something in the military career, and on top of that, my grandfather was in the Air Force. My other grandpa was in the Army, and I had another grandpa in the Navy as well. So had a lot of rich military background as well. And I just intuitively, I just wanted to go, and so I just went in and joined the U.S. Army instead of other branches, and just wanted to give back to this great country that's given me so much.
All right, great. And what made you pick the Army over the other branches?
I broke too many bones to be in the Air Force, and then the Army had better programs that I wanted to do, so that was it, yeah.
Yeah. And what year did you go into the Army?
I joined the Army in August 2009, and then I medically retired in December of 2018.
Okay. And where did you first start out the Army? Basic training or any specialty schools?
So I first started off in base training in Kentucky at Fort Knox, or as others would say, Hard Knocks, Kentucky. And then went to specialty school in Oklahoma, Fort Sill. And then from there I went to Georgia, Fort Stewart, with 3rd Infantry Division. And within a couple months, I was immediately deployed to Iraq and came back, did some training, and then went back for another second deployment to Afghanistan. And then after Afghanistan, I came back and then went to PCS to Fort Carson, Colorado with the 4th Infantry Division, and did another deployment to it was Kuwait, also Afghanistan, but we were on standby unit. So we were not so much reconnaissance, but we were the just in case emergency, something's going on kind of unit in a way. So.
Okay.
And then from there, I came back and they saw something they didn't like, and I was medically retired.
Okay.
So.
And what was your job in the Army?
I was a 13 Foxtrot forward observer.
Okay.
Fire support specialist. So I coordinated where artillery, mortar, attack helicopter, and fixed-wing aircraft drop ammunition.
Okay.
So from big 2,000-pound bombs to just simple 30-millimeter gun runs. So. It was a lot. It was a very fast-paced, and a lot of learn a lot on your feet and just not give up. That was the main thing, is continue. Like if you're going to deploy, in a couple months. So
yeah, it sounds like you didn't have too long before you deployed with the 3rd Infantry Division.
No, we deployed a lot. It was it was far and few, right?
Yeah. And so obviously you were overseas with, you said Kuwait, Iraq, Afghanistan. Any other places that you were able to get to?
Saudi Arabia, and then actually when I was in Iraq on my, I forgot what it's called, but the vacation time, was it dwell time? No, not dwell time.
R&R.
R&R,
Yeah.
Thank you. Instead of going back to America, my first sergeant recommended, he's like, you're single, you're young, go somewhere else. He goes, you know what, go to Qatar. And so I ended up going to Qatar for my R&R, and it was the best time ever. It was
Nice, yeah.
So fun, nice.
Yeah.
Had a great time. So
Yeah.
it was something different, right? That's what you need to do. Instead of just being sheltered in and just staying in one place. That's okay for others, but I wanted to take advantage of being able to explore more and do more things.
Yeah, that's great. So you had a full week of R&R in Qatar?
I did. It was hot, but it was really fun.
Yeah, that's cool. And did you have any experiences that stand out from your time, whether stateside training or when you were deployed, do you like to talk about? Or
the only thing that stood out, I would say, consistently is to be honest, be on time, be consistent, and ask questions. If you don't know, say something. Do what's right even when no one's looking is what really stands out to me the most. Honestly, is do what's right even when no one's looking. Because if you do, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And because people are depending on you, and you're also depending on them. So, really, just stands out is never give up and give it your all.
Yeah. And so you were medically retired as a sergeant, which is E5?
E5, yes.
E5, okay. And after you were medically retired, did you get involved with veterans organizations? And when you were retired, is that when you made your way here to Massachusetts?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So before I retired, actually, I had to choose where my stuff went when I was moving, and it was Massachusetts. And I started reaching out to other places instead of just permanently sticking with the MWR kind of events or people, because they did have some volunteers there. And they even recommended, hey, reach out to other places, Vets Inc. Or, the American Legion is another great place. The American Legion in Marlborough is another great place. And in Sudbury, I know there's others, but just wanted to highlight those two places in general. We can get to them a little bit, but and then Vet Center is another great organization. And I know the VA can get bad rep, but VA is not everywhere is perfect, right? It's what you make of it. So those are the organizations that really stand out. And then obviously, with Canine Companions, how I got Hershey.
Okay. So, hello, Hershey.
Yep, this is Hershey.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about that in a little while. And for those of you that don't know, Nick is also the assistant to Mike Hennessy, our Veteran Service Officer here in Marlborough. That's right. So when did you start getting involved with the Veteran Services community and employment? So
I actually started, I was unfortunately laid off in October of last year, and I immediately just pulled out, we can't pull out a yellow book anymore, but I pulled out on Google, and I started looking up organizations that, not so much a handout at all. I didn't want a handout. I wanted, okay, what can I do to help me get to a consistent job, like a job that's going to, obviously revenue and get me out of the house, right? That was the main goal, is also to get me out of my apartment, and not just with Hershey, but for my mental health as well. Reached out to Vets Inc., American Legion. Reached out to actually someone that works that knows Mike Hennessy in Milford. Okay. We at the time I didn't have a car, and so he stayed home, and I walked to their office and said, "Hey, this is what's going on. I need help." And they with a job and this and that, they go, "Oh, by the way, there's a position that's opening up in Marlborough," and I jumped right on top of it. So, okay. But the American Legion was another place in Marlborough that I reached out to, and it wasn't much like, "Hey, I need help with groceries," or "Hey, I need gas," or "I need money." It was, I needed somewhere to go just to feel welcomed and be okay. Just, hey, it's going to be all right. Just being around people as well. Yeah. Get that sanity going and stuff. Yeah, we're lucky here in Marlborough. We have multiple different veterans posts that offer the that kind of camaraderie and companionship. So that's great. And so you've been working with Mike for about 7 months now. Yeah. Okay. So I love it every day. Not just the work that I do with the Chapter 115 and the state benefits, but the other people I work with as well. I say this. Say this quite often. I'm sure people if they hear it, they'll roll their eyes, but it's not about what you do, it's about who you work with. And I can't say, I can wholeheartedly say there's not one person that I work with or the same organization, Marlborough, that if I don't know what's going on, if I'm uncomfortable, I'm lost, I wholeheartedly can say, I can go up to any person and be like, "Hey, I'm lost, can you help me?" And I won't have any belittlement, any recoil, any negative repercussions from asking questions. So I couldn't be happier where I'm at right now. Yeah, not just in Marlborough, but also in Sudbury as well. Awesome. Yeah, and we definitely appreciate the help with Mike that you offer, Mike. And you guys are split between Marlborough and Sudbury, correct? Yes, sir. Yep. Yeah, I'm primarily in Sudbury, but I'm also in Marlborough. For the majority of the time, I'm in Marlborough, and I just check my voicemail through my phone, which is kind of mind-blowing still. But check the voicemail and email. I follow up as fast as I can, and give it my all. Yeah, well, that helps definitely appreciating the veteran community here in Marlborough. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your time in the service? Or no, I think that's we pretty much covered. I would say pretty much covered it with my service. Just was loved it every second of it. Never worked a single day. I can fully say. Yeah, so that's great to hear. Well, thank you, Nick. And with that, we'll be taking a short break.
welcome back. And for this month's Veterans Profile, we'll be highlighting the Goodnow brothers. There were 3 brothers from Marlborough that all died in the Civil War. And recently, within the last couple of years, the city has named the Goodnow Brothers Elementary School in their honor. So we'll be hearing a little bit about them. Charles Edward Goodnow was born the 2nd of March, 1841 in Stowe, Massachusetts, and was living in Marlborough when he enlisted into the 40th New York Infantry, Company H. He was listed as missing in action following the Battle of Fredericksburg in December of 1862, and he died of typhoid fever in a military hospital in Washington, D.C. the 13th of January, 1863. Theodore Herbert Goodnow was born the 18th of March, 1844 in Stowe, Massachusetts, and while living in Marlborough enlisted into the 13th Massachusetts Infantry, Company I. He was wounded in action the 5th of May, 1864 at the Battle of the Wilderness in the right arm. His arm was amputated, and he died from complications of the amputation the 3rd of August, 1864. Andrew Jackson Goodnow was born the 15th of September, 1839 in Stowe, Massachusetts. He enlisted while living in Marlborough into the 25th Massachusetts Infantry Company E and was promoted to corporal following his re-enlistment in December of 1863. He was captured near Drury's Bluff, Virginia, the 16th of May, 1864, and he died of scurvy in Andersonville Prison in Georgia, the 18th of September, 1864. So today we'll be remembering the Goodnow brothers, and for those of you that may be familiar with the Goodnow Brothers Elementary School, these are the boys that it is named for. All right, welcome back, and again, we're here with Nick, and tonight he'll be talking about service and emotional support animals and different ways that they can be obtained and the help that they can provide to veterans as well as anyone else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Nick, obviously we have Hershey here with us tonight.
We do.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Hey, bud.
Oh.
So yeah, how did you get involved with the service dogs and kind of, can you tell us a little bit about those programs?
Of course. Yeah, so obviously this is Hershey. Got them from Canine Companions for Independence. They have 7 locations. They have one in New York, Ohio, Ohio, and a couple in California, and another one in Washington and Florida. They are ADI accredited, so that means you can take them across, I think it was either 26 or 28 countries that also go by the same rules and regulations with being ADI accredited. And so he's actually been with me to Germany 3 separate times.
Oh, wow.
And no issues there. Go through customs, you have the right paperwork. There was no issues. Just like here in America, they have the same rules where, service dog, there's a vest, service dog, you don't touch, you don't pet. And they're allowed in places where the person is also allowed. I got involved with them from there was a lady from the VA and another a social worker that I had met with at the vet center. I had gone through 2 other previous service dog organizations and kind of fell through, and no foul, right? No harm done. And then they got me onto Canine Companions. I applied. The application is very lengthy, but if you think of it as a Hershey or a service dog or even an emotional support animal as like a wheelchair or a cane, right? But in this case, with mental illness, it doesn't get fixed. It doesn't get cured by a Band-Aid or some aspirin, water, or even more PT, right? It's something that you work with and not against. Mm-hmm. And then the more I learned with Canine Companions in the process, the more people I kind of asked questions. Again, I didn't know, and I remember just reaching out to as many people as I could with, hey, how do I go about doing this? Because of how many times and so often I was recommended, hey, you should, really consider getting a service dog. And not just for, the being scared when I was going outside or whatever. It was just the little moments that really kind of peak up. Because I think everybody, veteran or not, can relate with, sometimes stuff can be overwhelming. Mm-hmm. Go to a Target on a Sunday afternoon. Tell me if you're not overwhelmed or not, right? Unless you've had a couple glasses of wine. But, it does get overwhelming sometimes. But in our cases with PTSD and depression and other, TBI as well, it kind of makes it a really, really dangerous kind of concoction of, Armageddon. It's not good. So it's that's how I got him. It's
Okay.
kind of like with that. So
yeah. And so if a veteran came and was interested in pursuing getting a service dog, service animal, what does that process kind of look like?
So good question. When you start off with the application process of it, it's very lengthy. Again, it's going to take about 20, 30 minutes, submit it, and then someone will get back to you. And what's great about with this organization, even if, let's say, you don't qualify, let's say they're still going to be, hey, are you interested in maybe an emotional support animal? Or maybe you want to volunteer raising a service dog or going to a shelter or, something else more to do, right? Because maybe that's more the interest, right? We don't know. But so you do the application, they contact you. They do about three different phone interviews, just random questions of like they want to know who you are. They want to make sure that they're giving a service dog or one of their dogs to someone who's kind, caring, who's not going to use it or give it to someone else. I'm not sure I've never heard of someone taking advantage of an organization or service dogs, but again, if there's a will, there's a way. So they have to make sure, right? And then you go in person which was in Long Island, New York, and you do the interview there, and they show you the campus, because again, you are there for 2 weeks, which can be kind of quite overwhelming for some folks, and you can bring your family there as well if you want to for the 2 weeks that you're there for the training. Lunch is provided, and you do is pay for breakfast and dinner. But you go through all the steps with what a dog is, right? In the end, no matter what, there's still a dog. He's a service dog, he's well trained, but no matter what, he's still a dog. If he sees a donut on the ground, he's probably going to want to lunge for it. You can train consistently, hey, don't eat that, don't eat that. But his mind, he's like, hey, that looks great. And then they'll also help you with the process with paperwork when it comes to the VA, because the VA can cover service dog expenses, including health insurance as well, pet insurance as well. And it goes through prosthetics.
Okay.
So that process can take a little bit longer, but it can take a little long. But they do help you with the right paperwork and whom to contact if you're having issues with that.
Okay.
But during the time I was getting him, it was right after I got him on first week of March 2020. So everything had shut down, and I had to.
Yeah.
I was looking and reading as much as I could because there was not a lot of people I could try to get a hold of because they were still trying to figure out, okay, how do we get a hold of veterans and how do the veterans get a hold of us with all these questions? So I just kept reading along, and then another thing I did was still try to reach out to other veterans and communities. I remember reaching out to not American Legion, but the Vet Center specifically, and they were referring me to, I guarantee there's going to be other veterans at American Legion, and I honestly should have contacted the American Legion in either Sudbury or Marlborough at the time. Obviously, I would not in person, but I guarantee someone would have been able to get a hold of me and be like, "Hey, this is how you go about doing it."
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and then after that, you get the dog, you take him home, and then you get before you take him home though as well too. You have to make sure you have a veterinarian already, and not just a veterinarian, but also an emergency room for a vet as well, just in case emergencies, of course. So, but yeah, once you take him home, it's almost surreal because. You're like, okay, this is it. This is actually happening, right? It's almost like graduating college or finishing, a major landmark or basic training, right? You're like, okay, this is it. Wow, I'm actually done. I don't have to, I'm doing all this stuff. So now it's time to execute all the training and everything I've done into real life now. I would say with getting a service dog, you kind of have to have thick skin. Not kind of. You actually have. You need to have thick skin and be ready to have the irregular, or I would say regular questions of, oh, so is that a service dog? Like, yes. Oh, can I pet him? No, you cannot right now, right? Those things, that's nice, but you're going to get in a lot of questions from time to time where even sometimes they'll just go up and be like, oh, hey, hi, so is this a service dog? You're like, yes, can you not pet him, right?
Yeah.
I'm in the right? Or even a great example is going to a store and they're, oh, no dogs allowed. Oh, this is a service dog. And they would go back and forth with, no, that's not. And you're 100% in the right, at the time. But the worst thing and the thing you should never do is match their energy level.
Yeah.
And be negative. You just go, tell them, nope. If they're uneducated, they should already have said so beforehand. But it's been a good learning experience, honestly, in general. Just not just him having by my side, right? But also kind of knowing, hey, kind of keep myself calm and composure, and just not overreacting or even underreacting, right? Not explaining certain things how they're supposed to be said. So, but also when it comes to the process with your kind of talking about with the service dog stuff, there are times whether I've been asked and approached by veterans and other people that need a service dog. I'll ask them like, hey, is a service dog what you are looking for, or maybe an emotional support animal? I would say, I can wholeheartedly say 7 out of 10 times they'll say emotional support animal, because they're not really ready to fully commit, or they're not willing or needing, right, to bring a dog with them everywhere. And or make those choices of, okay, do I bring a dog inside with me, right? If I'm, for example, I'm going to a gas station, just pump gas, right? I'm not going to take them out and take them inside. Hey, $10. Obviously, I'm just going to be quick in and out. I don't need them to go in and out everywhere. So you kind of play it by ear. Again, Target, right? You're not going to go to Target on a Sunday afternoon with a service dog, because you're going to have a large number of people going up and be like wanting to talk or meet the dog, or kind of tell you a story about how their niece, nephew, cousin, brother, daughter have a service dog. And again, you have them there for a reason, right? It's like, hey, you need my space. There's no sign, but again, people are just friendly. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. And then, what is the difference between a service dog and an emotional support animal?
So, emotional support animal, you can't bring it. You can bring inside places, but not everywhere. And with service dog, you do bring them everywhere. Emotional support, you don't bring them. Him or her, you don't bring them everywhere, right? There's times where you can bring them to work, but sometimes you don't need them. You're like, hey, I'm doing okay today. There's times where, I might need to bring them to the grocery store, or I need the RMV, right? It's not always a necessity, right? It's almost like in case of emergencies, or just that once a day, or maybe once in a while, I need to bring them in. So, and then the training is slightly different. With Hershey, he can pick up things, he can push doors open. Obviously, you can tell he doesn't bark, he doesn't get up and run away. Again, some places that do train emotional support animals, they're kind of lax when it comes to, okay, hey, if they run around, or if they're a little out of, not doing what they're told to do, that's okay in a way, which is fine. Again, they're not going to be everywhere like Hershey is, right? He's not going to be going up to the city hall or going on an airplane and stuff. So I would look at ESA. One, very beneficial, right? But two, not as the training's not as intense, and it's more relaxed. So
it's good to know that there is a difference, and for folks, that are watching, kind of keep that in mind when you do see people with animals in the stores and things like that.
Absolutely. Again, emotional support animals are just as beneficial as service dogs too, and it helps a lot of people. As you know, I'm sure you've met plenty of people with a service dog, and then also emotional support animal too. So it's a great tool.
Yeah, so that's great. And we'll be posting the link for Canine Companions, and then any other organizations that are local that we can talk about. So if anyone's interested with that, help with the emotional support animal or a service dog, you can reach out to Mike Hennessy's office and talk with Mike or Nick, and they can facilitate some of that process for you.
Absolutely. And there's another organization in the area that I'll share with you as well, where if you already have a dog that's already trained, or that you believe, hey, you know what, I don't need to go get another dog, right? I just want him. You can go to, there's an organizations out there where they'll train your dog for you, absolutely free. So, and because some people aren't ready to go, Long Island, right, for 2 weeks, or go to another state where the ADI accreditation service animal organization has a long list, right? Because again, it was a year after I had finally gotten up to speed of when I'm actually going in for training. So which is also that's great too.
Yeah. Well, that's all really good information, and thank you, Nick, for sharing that with us.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm happy to help. And again, if anybody has any questions or comments, hey, feel free. I'm available. Here to help.
Yeah, and thank you, for your work working with Mike in the Veterans Service Office.
Absolutely. Couldn't be happier.
All right, and with that, we wrapping up this month's episode of Veterans Voices. We'll see you next month.